Yeah, U3, live from the underground.
Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tune in to U3, and we have a guest. I've been wanting to get this guy on my show for a long time. I'm the one that's been slacking, not him. This is Young. Well, he used to go by Young Nasty, but now he is Nasti Musiq. Give it up, all the way from Oklahoma.
Going on?
Let's talk about your name. How did you come up with Young Nasty first, and what switched you to change it to Nasti Musiq?
Well, Nasty, the whole name, how that came about, like a lot of people, is like a whole lot of mixed opinions on this. People feel like, oh, this must have happened and this, and then, oh, you must be. It wasn't even that, like what it was just a group of people. I used to work at this job, this call center, like I was probably like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And, like at call centers, everybody kind of just do what they want to do, kick their feet up, have fun and do. So we just used to be on the little dollars, climbing around and everything. And we was just like, one day, me and a couple other dudes, we was just like, hey, we're gonna make up this crew. We were just thinking of a name, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, how about Nasty? You know what I'm saying? Let's be nasty or whatever. First, it was just playing around or whatever. And then, we was like, okay, Nasty. And it was like, how about we make it like a word. I mean, when you hear nasty, you think nasty, but make it mean something. Make it mean something that, that's cool. That's tight to put with it. Like, okay, so it's nasty, but it's just like, you nasty. No, it means never allow someone to intimidate. And it's like, oh, okay, that's good. Like, that's something positive. It's like turning a negative into a positive in a way. Like, that was the whole thing. And it was like 5 of us. First of all, we all had nasty names. I wasn't the only nasty. The only reason my name was Young Nasty at that time because I was the youngest of everybody around me.
Gotcha.
So that's where that came from, But once I always danced and, I used to sing in church when I was younger, and I used to sing around a little bit before I really started taking it serious. And then once I, became an artist, it just stuck, Everybody already called me nasty, like from the parties and in the clubs and all that type of stuff when I was younger. So I just kind of like stuck, and it was easier for people to catch on and remember.
What made you change it from Young Nasty to Nasti Musiq? Is it because your music changed? Music style changed? You got older?
The sound and got older, because I look at it like, the original Young Nasty, I was like 15, 16 years old, and it's just like, I'm not the Young Nasty kid anymore, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like Nasti Musiq. The reason I chose music is because I just wanted to put a flip on it, because I always kind of liked it like music, soul child in a way. So like that name was like, if I could say Nasti Musiq, and then my brand of the type of, I'm pretty versatile on my music. Like I do any type of genre, but my foundation is R&B, so like preferably my favorite style is, you already know, is like 90s R&B and like early 2000s R&B. So if I could be Nasti Musiq, and that just kind of represents my brand, I can kind of give, I can prove why my name is this, and it can match up to my music, you know what I'm saying? And if I want to get raw with it or get gutter with it or talk some real shit, you know what I'm saying, it's still nasty, because it's like I'm saying what I'm saying, and I ain't nobody intimidating me. I'm gonna do what I do. So it all plays in together.
I agree with that. I like that. Okay. I like that. Okay. That Nasti Musiq. That's very different and unique. I'm feeling that. Now, I know most of the songs you have is for the ladies. We all know that. Are we going to see any club songs soon? Any like hood songs? I know you say you do it all.
My latest thing I just came out with is a slower song. I mean, it's not a slower song, but it is a song that's for the ladies, but like the clubs is picking up on it. It's only been out 3 days, and the clubs that I've gotten into, and DJs are like, even the strip clubs, like, it's because of the bass. It got the 808 in it, so it's like, it's pounding. So my EP that I'm actually in the process of working on, which the single I dropped is gonna be like the first song of that. The EP would be about 5-6 songs. In there I got a like a Bruno Mars type record in there. And then I got, of course, I'm gonna always keep the slow R&B cuts in there.
Yeah.
I got a couple of them, of course. And you know, I got like I said, I got a couple, you know, club type records in there, and I got that Bruno Mars, and it kind of has like an older type beat, like kind of like a mid 80s type tempo. Like when I heard the beat, I think like SOS Band or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's just something different that I'm doing. I'll always like that type of music, but I haven't done that type of music. So it's kind of fun to kind of do stuff that I kind of grew up listening to. My mom's listened to it, and my pops listened to it. So it's like good to like do it, you know, do one of those type songs.
When are you dropping your EP? Do you have a name for it?
I kind of went back and forth on it. I'm strongly leaning towards it being self-titled. Just because it's going to, it's going to, and I want it to represent me. Like, I want it to be self-titled. It's like, okay, so these 5-6 records that you got are me. You know, you got a slow record, you got a club, you got a fun one, you got a record that you can dance to and get your choreography on or whatever. And you know, I want that to be like, okay, this is Nasti Musiq. You know, this EP represents who he is as an artist.
When is this dropping? Do you have a date yet? Are you gonna keep us a secret?
Yeah. I don't have a date on it, but I am leaning more towards the end of the summer.
Oh.
I got the single that I'm pushing right now. That's doing. Like I said, it's only been out a few days, and it's doing real good. Like as far as like with the DJs and stuff like that. Spotify's looking pretty cool. And so I'm just seeing what comes of this. I'm shooting a music video for it in July. A real fun type, classic summertime type vibe. So just be ready for that.
We can't wait till that drops. That's gonna be dope. I know that's gonna be dope. Now you are a dancer. Some people don't know that, but you do dance. And since you are a dancer and you sing, are we gonna get like a dance track from you? Not like a club track, but you know, a song that has like a dance step to it, like a dance challenge. You know, that's the wave now.
The song I got a record, but like I said, it's not like a dance challenge type thing. It's more of like some choreography, you know, like we're gonna be getting our usher on in there in the video, you know.
Okay.
So it's kind of it's gonna show a little bit more of my, because like you said, I've always danced, like before, like even before I made it public and did the YouTube and everything like that, I always danced, hip hop dance, choreography, stuff like that. But more of the trendy dances and stuff was going on. That's what kind of like got me my first recognition.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was kind of like my trademark is to, you know, whatever new dance was going on, I would just put my own twist on it and do it. But when it comes to the trendy dance, I'm kind of letting the youth have it now. You know, I kind of let them do that. You know, I'm gonna show that I still got as far as just overall dancing in general, but I let them have the, you know, the trends and everything. You know.
So if a youth were to call you out on a dance battle, would you accept it, or would you like?
They gonna get all the work. You know, I'm not trying to do that to them, you know, but I give them the work. So.
Well, some people don't know, but I know you from your YouTube days. So what made you start wanting to upload videos to YouTube, whether it's you doing covers or you doing dancing? What made you want to get into that?
Man, I mean, just having a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I came from the church. Like, you know, I was like, my mom, like when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old, I used to have to go to church. I used to have to go to choir practice. They used to like, oh, you forced me to sing in a way. You know, I didn't even like singing in the choir. But then I got to the point where I did like it, and then hit high school and got a little older, and it was just like, I started thinking it wasn't cool no more. And I just started, you know, just kind of doing my own thing. And, as far as the YouTube, it was actually started in fun, you know. Me and my partner, and I used to dance with Bio to Bio. Like we technically grew up together. That's my boy. And we was just like chilling, one night, friends just over kicking it, like how teenagers do. We was just kicking it, and then girls was like, hey, do some of them dances y'all be doing at the parties and all that or whatever. I got a camera, I got a camcorder. It's like, all right, so we just did I'm trying to remember. I remember the dance. The first one we ever did was like, I think it was like, remember the Soldier Boy, like Get Silly or something?
Oh,
was that Soldier Boy or was that?
Yeah, it was Soldier Boy.
Vic. No, it was Vic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Huh?
Was it Soldier Boy or was that Vic? The dude named Vic?
It was, no, it's Vic, Get Silly. Yeah, I think it was Vic, Get Silly.
I think it was Vic,
yeah, that's who it was. Yeah.
So we did that, and this is on MySpace. This wasn't even YouTube first. So we did that one, and we did.
Go back. He said MySpace.
MySpace. So we did that, and we did something to Lil Wayne's and Millie, and then I think we did the Rack Daddy, and we did Fox and Millie on our own. So we did like 4 videos that night.
Dang.
Put them on MySpace, and then like the next day, it was like we had like 15,000 hits like overnight on the MySpace. And so when that happened, we was like, okay, let's start a YouTube. So we started YouTube, and then like 3 days we had like 50,000 hits, and like we was getting all type of emails from people. Hey, come perform here. Hey, come to my party. Hey, and then it was people from like all over different cities and stuff. So like it kind of took off before we was even ready for it.
Yeah.
So, once that started happening, it was just like, we like to do this anyway. So we just started doing videos. First, it was all dance. Like, it was all dance or whatever. And then after that was popping, I was just like, man, I'm gonna start doing some covers. Because, you young, you broke. That's the reason why I lean more towards dancing in the beginning, because, dancing was cheaper. Like, all you needed was a camera and your skills. Before I was doing covers, like it was people around me doing studio, but it was just like I didn't have studio money. I didn't have the money to buy the beat. I didn't have, so it was just like, let me just record myself. And then I started doing covers, and then I was like, okay, so I just started balancing the covers and the music out, and started developing that fan base.
Do you feel like it's easier or harder for people to get recognized, whether it's music, dancing, singing, as it was back then compared to now?
Oh, it's way harder back then. I mean, it's pros and cons though. Like, one pro is YouTube. They've changed up a lot of their settings and how it works and the algorithm and everything. Like, so back then it was fresh. We got on YouTube in like 2008, and at that time I think YouTube was only like 2 years old. So when we started doing videos, those type of videos, we were like some of the first ones, that were like, nowadays you type in a song or you type in a dance video, it's 1,000 people dancing to this song or singing this song or whatever. So it's way more. Back then we were like some of the first, and some of those Dallas records that we were dancing with in the early days, we were getting them exclusively from DJs and stuff. Like, because when we first started doing songs, it was like DJs and people and the artists down there, like Dero and Bocane and Fat Pimp and B Hemp and Cutter C. Like, everybody at that time, the Nation, Young Nation, everybody that was doing their thing would like send us the record, and then we'd do like 10 videos in one night,
Oh, wow.
And then we would just put them out. So we'd be like one of the first ones, if not the first ones, to premiere this record. So we was technically breaking people's records at the same time of, promoting ourselves as dancers.
Wow.
So like,
and people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, so we were in the beginning. So like we got that's why I video million a video, it was like popping like that, because we were one of the first ones. Now, YouTube is a little harder now for them, because, like I said, it's a little more oversaturated. But the Instagram, and they had Vine a couple years, like all these other apps, it's unlimited. There's no excuse like not to be seen. So it's, the YouTube is more in our favor, but everything else is in their favor. So it's way easier now to get discovered. Just choose what social media you want to do.
Yeah. Now, if there's one dance style or dance era you would want to bring back, which one would it be?
Man, I mean, honestly, it probably would be that era of the whole Dallas Boogie and the jigging and everything. Just because I think that I've never seen a movement, and I remember like even when I was like younger, like in the 5th and 6th grade and on up, and they had snap music, they had they had crunk music when I was younger, crunk music, snap music, and even the movements they got doing now, and they had the Nay Nay, and they had all this other stuff that came after that. I feel like jigging and all that type of stuff birthed that shit.
I agree.
Because like for one, those people in Atlanta and these other spots or whatever, regardless of what they were saying, Memphis, wherever you was at, you was watching what was going on in Texas because the movement was so big. Like they came all the way from Cali and tried to get the Dougie and claim it as theirs,
Yeah.
So it was making its rounds, and I just remember like every city I ever went to was like, I know you. Even if they didn't know my name, they knew my face and was like, you dance, do you? Like, because, I mean, everybody was watching that movement. Like,
yeah.
And then everybody was doing it. That's the only dance movement that I ever seen a whole club do. Like at one time. Like, you got dances now, you might have a group of maybe 3 or 4 people doing a dance to it, whatever now. But like that era, everybody was doing it. Like, even if they couldn't do it
as
good.
a DJ, I can play some of them songs, but people still just be getting it.
Yeah, like you'll get.
I'm good.
People get back in their mode.
Yeah.
Did you fall?
Yes, I did. You caught that. I tried to play it off.
Oh man.
But yeah, as a DJ, I can still play those songs, and people my age and that grew up in that era would still just be doing it. I'm like, dang, y'all remember the dance? It's like.
Because that was even a generation that was probably like 10, 11 years old at the time. They still like they remember that, and it's just like they get out there, club rock, come on, everybody go crazy,
exactly.
All this, it's crazy. I've never seen a dance movement like that, never seen a dance movement like that, and never seen a movement where artists was getting those deals strictly off of that dance movement. It's never been like that before. And even now, those other dances is popping, and they those trendy dances is catching on, and you have dances like Lil Keita and all that, everybody doing the different dances, but like it's just never been a movement like how that Texas, and it went all the way from Texas like to the whole South pretty much. And
you feel like once you come out with a dance song, it's hard to like come out with other hits. For instance, like Soulja Boy came out with that dance song, and then Soulja Boy tried to come out with a normal song, and it's like,
yeah, as an artist, I feel like, yeah, but I will say for a rapper, like if an R&B cat did that, they could do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
R&B can.
As a rapper, yeah, once you put yourself in that, and because at that time everybody was trying to get a hit, everybody was looking for a hit, so. The people was looking at it like, okay, this is what's getting people the recognition. This is what's hitting. This is what the labels are coming in, giving people they single deals and stuff on. So that's the direction everybody went. But, even if you're not that type of rapper, like you're a trap music, every song you ever did before that dance song was a trap song, but you had a little local buzz. And then you do that song, and then everybody know you for that. Then you try to go back to the trap, and they just like, you a dancer. And they gonna look at you like that. I mean, somebody like me wouldn't, because like I've never, like, me being a dancer, it's just like, I don't know, it's like this persona that, niggas that dance is like soft or like weak or whatever, but it's just like,
well, I guess not R&B, because I feel like R&B people can get away with the dancing. You do R&B. Cause like the Ushers did it, the Chris Browns, so y'all can get away with dancing.
But it's like
you can't just be rapping talking about you trapping in the hood and trying to do this. This ain't gonna work out like.
But I don't really agree with that though, because honestly, to keep it a stack, at the time when we was doing those dances, we was in the hood, we was in the streets back then. You know what I'm saying? So like all the street niggas was trying to do it, You know what I'm saying? Breakdancing, pop locking, street niggas started that.
But the thing is, like, nowadays, I feel like the way the music has shifted, they makes it seem like it's not hood anymore. Like back in the day, it used to be.
Yeah, like
but now it's like
society
they look at you like,
So society's gonna paint that picture. I'm just saying, like, I know for a fact that it doesn't mean anything. You know,
we gotta bring it back. We gotta bring back that time back.
It's hard. It's hard though, because I mean, people just gonna think that, like, and you can't. It's hard to kind of change.
Back. We got the white tees coming back, so we got, as long as we get the white tees coming back, then maybe we can get the lean with it, walk with it to come back with it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can. I've seen people throw those little dances in there, like on choreography and stuff like that. Yeah. But you know, it's like, honestly, it's leaning towards, because like my style of dance, even though I did the trendy dance, like I could always like dance, you know. So like I was able to mix the trendy stuff with what I was already doing, you know. So back then wasn't nobody else doing that, like, you know what I'm saying? So like you was either, and they tried to put me in a boat, like, I mean in a box. Either you was a choreographer, hip hop, pop locking type dancer, or you were a trendy Dougie or Jigger. They tried to be both, split them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like one of the only ones that was just doing it. I could go to a dance battle and crump over here. Then I can go over here and just jig. You know what I'm saying? But back then it was just like, you know, they looked at it like, oh, you're not a real dancer if you do that. They looked at it like, oh, we don't do all that. You know? But nowadays, like I said, you got people like that's so you think you could dance. You got Lil Ketas. You got all these people that mix it all up. You know what I'm saying? So now it's cool. But back then, it wasn't really accepted. Like, I mean, it was accepted, but it wasn't like well known for somebody to do both. It was kind of like one or the other.
You ever thought about teaching classes, dance classes, like
I have
mini dance classes on YouTube to teach us like simple steps? Or like you go.
I have, but you know, like I think like one thing about that is like that part of it has never really been my passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like to be like a choreographer. Like I want to be the entertainer. Like I want to be the star. Like I'm not the person that's gonna teach it and dance to somebody else's music. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be the one doing it, and I'm going to be that. You know, so because I mean I got a lot of people that I came up with dancing, and some of them are full-fledged choreographers, but you know they're in the background, like they do choreography for different artists and stuff like that. Like for me, that's not me. Like, you know, I don't want to do choreography for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do my own. Like even today, people be like, "Hey, can you dance my video? Can you?" I'll be like, I don't know, man. Like I'm an artist, bro. Like, you know, you don't see Usher or Marion or Chris Brown in the background of somebody's video dancing, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I had to make a transition to, it's just like, am I going to be a dancer that does music, or am I going to be an artist that dances? I'd rather be an artist that dances, because once you become a dancer, and you're just a dancer, and you become an artist, it's kind of like, you know, you don't like one of the guys that was one of the founders of Crump. He started rapping, and it's just like, all right, bro, you know. I don't know, like you crump, bro. You're a crump dancer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like if you're an artist and then you do your own steps or whatever, and you have your own people dancing behind you, and then it's like, you know, I think everybody got their own lane. Just like some people aren't made to be artists, they're made to be songwriters. And, you know, so I think it's that type of thing.
Well, besides music, besides singing and dancing, you do finance. You work in the finance area. For some people who don't know, tell us a little bit about that. Like, what exactly do you do in finance?
Well, I'm a tax professional, and more recently, in the past this year or whatever, I'm a credit repair specialist. So and that was like one of my, like, I kind of took a break from, like, you know, the whole entertainment music thing or whatever. No, sometimes you get in your mind like, man, I'm tired of everywhere I go. And it's just like, you know, I kind of, you know, you get, I want to be regular, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of, so And plus, I was just looking at it like, coming up and, traveling and going these places and learning so much about the industry. One of the main things was investing, and having that bag to do the things that you wanted to do. So, my brother, which is actually Tobiah, like he's actually the one to put me into the tax business. And once I got into that, I just kind of didn't look back. It was just entrepreneurship, and I just kept building and building and building and building. And then, like I said, I kind of took a little break from music. I throw something out every now and then, but I wasn't really on it like I was. I kind of was just focused on, building businesses and becoming an entrepreneur and being financially free and all that. So that's what I was more so concentrated on. But yeah, tax preparation and credit repair.
What advice do you have for young people who are, who never learned about finance or being financially stable? What's some tips you can give?
Man, I would say, because I'm actually one of them. I'm one of the people who didn't really have the knowledge up until like my early 20s. So that's nothing it's not taught in school. I think they got courses in college now for like finance and stuff now that you might be able to take. But all in all, when it comes to taxes and make sure your credit's right and saving and budgeting, these aren't the type of things that we are familiar with. So I would just say get familiar with it. Read as much as possible. YouTube is your friend.
Yeah.
It's so many different. You want to learn how to calculate your credit. You want to learn how to maintain it. You want to learn whatever you want to learn how. You can type it in YouTube. Guarantee it's going to pull something up. So just do your study. Do your due diligence. That's what I do. I still study. I've been doing taxes for about 6 years now. And I still, study up and, find out new things in the finance world and just build business regardless of whatever you want to do. You want to be an artist, you want to be a model, you want to be a surgeon, whatever you're doing career-wise or whatever, you still want to know about finances because dealing with whatever profession you're doing, you're going to fall back to that when you try to get a house, type of cars you're trying to get, or whatever you're trying to do is always going to fall back to something dealing with your credit, something dealing with taxes or something. So you have to learn and pass it down to your younger. Once you know something, pass it down to your siblings or your younger people, whatever, because it's something that, especially as the minority, that, it's not pumped into us as it may be pumped possibly on the other side,
Yeah.
So I feel like economy, just all that type of stuff are things that we need to know about and learn about and educate ourselves on as people in general, but as black people, that's something that we really need to focus on and get right, because we'll always be losing the fight if we don't have those things intact, or we don't know how to handle those things, or if we don't have our stuff in order, we're always gonna be losing. So
I agree.
Gotta learn that. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some of the new music you have out. I know you mentioned your little club hit. Well, you wouldn't call it a club. Well, it's a club song. Your club song you talked earlier, but you also have the I like. You have the Mint Strawberry. I like the Mint Strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a couple of songs. So when can we get an album? I know you say you're working on an EP, but are we gonna get an album, a mixtape?
I want to put out an album maybe by the end of the year, but how I do it is I kind of go off of the reception. One thing about the industry that has changed so much, and you have to go off of the demand of the people, So as far as even with singles, like, 10 years ago, you would get 18 songs and pick your top 4 singles and put those out.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's kind of dependent on the fans. You put out 2 songs, you may like this song more, but the people love that song more. So you're gonna go with what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
So like as far as that, like I got my own personal goals as far as like amount of streams, amount of this or that to hit before I get into the album. I want to push some singles as far as they can go before I concentrate on, like an album. An EP, it's kind of, especially R&B wise, is kind of more so where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Majority of people are dropping EPs now, and it's about attention spans in this and nowadays in the whole social media era. And you know, sometimes a long album could lose the attention span. And also sometimes if you got an album, you got 15 songs, instead of putting out a 15-song album, once you put out you can put out 3 EPs, four song EPs, 3-song EP, and that would kind of buy the time more, give you time to put the correct marketing into those singles and the visuals and whatever you do, instead of putting a whole body of work out and then say that's not where it's set for you. Then you have to go back to the drawing board. For me, it's better to space it out that way. That way, when you see the demand on that song or whatever it is, then it's like, okay, now let's get in album mode.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's just real strategic for me.
That makes sense. I like that. Well, before we let you go, Mr. Nasti Musiq, I always want to say music, but music. Make sure I get it right.
Yeah, music.
Let people know where they can check out all your music. Drop us all your social media sites, your music sites, and also if they need some financial advice, drop us all that. Where can they hit you up?
Okay, well, dealing with everything is always going to be Nasti Musiq, NASTIMUSIQ. So, and that's, Facebook. I got a Facebook artist page. You search me on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. Everywhere you go, you type in Nasti Musiq, I'm going to pop up. I try to keep it the same across all boards, that way it's not difficult to find me. And then as far as financially, that my Facebook is I have 2 Facebooks. One of them is Harold. Harold is my first name, it's my government name. Nasti Musiq, and it has my last name, Peavy. So you can contact me there for any type of financial questions. If you're interested in credit repair, you need tax preparation, and P.S. when it comes to the tax, little FYI, you got to July 15, I believe, to file your taxes. So if you're one of those late filers, you got a little bit of time to get that done. But yeah, you can find me. Yeah, you can find me on all those cylinders, and I'll get back with you.
You heard it straight from his mouth. Make sure you go ahead and look him up. NASTI MUSIQ. Go look that up. You will not be disappointed by his music, especially if you love R&B and you love an R&B singer that can dance. You're definitely gonna feel it. Well, this should go DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and we are signing out.